you, Justus. And I just have to say, I'm so happy to be able to share with you. That is one of the beauties of technology that we can share and, as it were, see each other even if we're not physically present. And I must say, I miss you. I hope to be in East Africa a bit later on in the year, in the early part of the year, because I really want to be with you. You are precious to me. I've been coming to East Africa since 1996. And to me, it's like almost a second home when I come there. And it's the people. It's the people who make a place. And I am so happy that I have a few minutes to share with you this evening. And actually, what I'm going to share with you is probably nothing new. It's things that you all know. In fact, Justus has referred already to some of the things, like, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. The thing is, ideas like that is nice sounding, and if you think about it, it's ideas that change the world. I was thinking the other day, somebody came up with the idea of the internet. Now, don't ask me how, but you know what an impact that has on our world, on our daily living. But that started as an idea. Now, what we do when we do training and when we talk to each other, we share ideas, because ideas can spark something new in one's mind. But ideas are good and well. They can become cliches where you know it, you've heard it, it sounds nice. But the question is, what do you do with or about the idea? It's good to know that you should plan, but are you actually planning? Have you planned? By this time of the year, you should actually already have planned, or at least have had your plans moving in a direction. And I want to reiterate what Justus was saying. If you haven't planned yet, do it now. Start this evening when we finish. Try by the end of this week to have your planning for the year more or less in place. Now, plans can change, but the fact is that you have to have plans. You see, if you aim at nothing, that is what you'll eat. If you don't have something that you go for, where are you going? Now, the point is, as we start a new year, somehow a new year always brings some new energy. Maybe we had the opportunity to rest a bit and be with friends and family over Christmas. And when we start a new year, psychologically, it gives us that thought that what we haven't done in the past year, we can do this year. In other words, start over. Or what we haven't done well enough in the past year, we can try and do better this year, improve and grow. Now, I'm so happy to see what has been happening in all the different teams that are on this call through the past year, because I know the momentum you've built up is going to catapult you into this new year, where you will be not starting from scratch again. You already have some momentum that pushes you into the new year, and that is very, very exciting. Now, as an individual, you don't have had much momentum up till now, that's no problem. We can always start again. We can always make a new beginning and a better beginning. Now, why do we go to the trouble? Why do we join New Life? Well, we joined New Life simply because my salary wasn't enough. I'm not going to make a long story of that now. We desperately needed to make extra money. In the beginning, I didn't think it was for me. I thought it's for my wife just to sell some Super 10 and LDC and G1, which were the main products those days, 40 years ago. But what I eventually discovered it is that Neolife is so much more than I thought. I never thought of it as a career. Well, it has become my career for many, many, many years now, and a very enjoying and satisfying career, because it's a career built on, as Justus indicated as well, on helping other people better their lives, whether it be in their health, whether it be financial or with personal development, whatever. We move forward by helping other people move forward. And that is so satisfying. That is why I don't think in terms of retirement, although in normal circumstances, I would have been retired these past 10 years already if I still had a job. But this is not a job. This is a way of life. This is a calling, if I may say so. Now, you may not see it that way at this stage, at the point where you are, but if you stay with us, you will discover that is how it is. And really, it's in the end, it's not just about the money. It's about much more. It's about the friendships. It's about contributing positively into people's lives. But, you know, the beginning of it all is your reason for being involved. And as you start your planning for the year, it is so necessary that you revisit what we call your why. Why did you join Neolife? We joined because we needed to make like an extra 10,000 shillings a month. That was our why. But when we started making that kind of money, the why got upgraded. Eventually, it became the why was my children's education. Another big why was to be my own boss and not have to work for a salary and being employed. Another big why for us is traveling. Now, the astonishing thing is I counted the other day that I've been to something like 34 countries already. And that's a dream that came true eventually, not in the beginning. But the important thing is you've got to be certain why you do the business. Now, in the beginning, if your why is not very big, that's not important. As long as you have a reason, And then the other important thing is that you must feel strongly enough about that so that you'd be willing to do the work, discipline yourself, make some sacrifices, because without that, nothing is going to happen. This business is not built on convenience. You cannot stay in your comfort zone and expect to gain the results that you haven't got yet, because everything you have right now is what your comfort zone has offered. So to have more, to be more, to do more, we have to move out of our comfort zones. And that often is a fear-producing thought. You know, we're scared to move to new things, to move into the unknown, to try new things. But, you know, either we overcome our fears or our fears will overcome us and hold us back. So the point is, we just have to be so strong about what we want to achieve, because that is the only thing that will really motivate us. Justus and the teams and the company with the incentives, those are all meant to strengthen you in your motivation, to give you added go for your motivation. But motivation has got to come from the inside. So really make sure that you ask yourself why. And then don't worry if the why is so big that you think it can't ever happen. That's not the point at this stage. The point of making a big difference in your life is to aim high, have big dreams, And don't worry how you are going to achieve them. The how you are going to achieve them, that is what we will teach you. But the nice thing about that also is you're not going to get to the big things in one big step or all of a sudden or through some miracle that happens in your life. Everywhere we go in life, we get there by small steps, one at a time. I've used the example before of children going to school. You know, the first day they go to school, they're definitely not ready for university yet. They're definitely not ready for the employment market because tomorrow they've got to go again. And the day after tomorrow, they've got to go again. So for a whole year. And at the end of the year, they've got to go the next year, one day after another. And so eventually, when many days have stacked up, a child then gets eventually to where they finish school, and now they have the opportunity of going on to university or a job or whatever it is they want to do. But you realize that any progress in life comes through small steps, one at a time. And the beautiful thing about neo-life is that, well, let me just go back a sentence. Those small steps are what we call goals. You know, a goal is something that you plan to do, something that you aim at. And once you got there, you take the next step for which you will have had to plan. Now, I remember when I was at university, we were set goals in terms of test and exam dates. Now, if we never had test and exam dates, I don't know if I would have studied much because one of my drawbacks is that I tend to be lazy. But if you know there's a deadline, you've got to have so much work done by that time that pushes you to do the work. So the purpose of a goal is to give you something clear and definite that you are going for. Now, the steps in the marketing plan, in the compensation plan, do exactly that for us. They tell us your next goal as a distributor is to become a manager, and then senior manager and all the way up. And it tells you exactly what you have to do to achieve that. So the first goal that we need to accept is, if we want to grow in the business, is to take our next step. And then when we've done that, the goal is to take your next step. Because every time we step up, the money becomes more, the privileges increase. Like we were in Barcelona in October with a Diamond Lifestyle event. That's a privilege you only get once you reach president's team. We were there for 4 full days, and I cannot tell you when last I felt so spoiled and so enjoyed being in a new place, because I hadn't been to Barcelona before. It was absolutely fantastic. But you know, when we joined the business, that wasn't possible. That only came as a result of keeping on for as long as it takes to reach where you have to go. Now, the other important thing of having a goal, it's like making a promise to yourself, saying, I will do this by the end of this period, the end of the month or whatever. Now, if you don't break promises to other people, please value yourself enough not to make promises to yourself and then break them. Don't break promises that you make to yourself. Go for it. Is it always going to be easy? No, of course not. Life happens. Difficulty comes. Challenges come. Sometimes we don't achieve the goal in the time that we hoped we would. That's not a reason to give up on the goal. It's just a sign that we need to do more or do whatever, carry on a little bit longer until we achieve the goal. So A goal is in itself a motivation. It shows you exactly what you've got to do, and we teach you how to do it. The company teaches us how to do it. But the point is, we've got to be very intentional about it. Now, intentional means uh, you're really focusing on doing something. You really plan to do it. Uh, the opposite of that would be drifting. You know, you drift into the month, you drift through the month. The end of the month comes and you see what has happened or what has not happened, mostly not happened. And then you drift into the next month. And that is a way to motivate people to quit the business. Because if you do nothing, if you don't aim for something and go for it, you're not going to have the results. And if you don't have the results, why stay in the business? And then people quit and they lose out on what could have changed their lives completely. That's the importance of having goals, because it gives you direction, it gives you purpose instead of just drifting. Now, of course, that's going to mean work and effort. You can't get something for nothing. You've got to sacrifice some things. Now, people sometimes think sacrifice is a negative thing. No, it's not. Sacrifice means you give up something of a lower value, like watching TV, or I love reading books. Give up that so that you can work and achieve traveling to Barcelona and Istanbul as we're going next year, and all of the nice things you dream of. So don't think of sacrifice as something negative, but sacrifice does mean that you've got to give up certain things if you want to achieve something that you haven't yet achieved. And then to go with that, discipline. Discipline to work. We don't always feel like working. You know, I remember at the very beginning when I was planning to go full-time in the business, we had moved to a new city where I knew nobody. I had to scratch around for names, but that's a story for another day. And I worked during the day. Sometimes I had to travel for the work. And many nights I'd come home and I was tired, but I had appointments. Or I had to phone. And I disciplined myself to sit down and phone as many people as I'd planned to. And from that, eventually started growing the business. My business in both Kenya and Uganda came from those phone sessions. So what we need to do is remind ourselves of why we are doing the business. And then really start believing and hold on to the fact that Neolife can help you achieve whatever it is you wish to achieve, even far more than you think you can achieve. But that is going to require commitment from your side, as it does for me. See, nothing changes if we do things differently or stop doing certain things. We've got to make that commitment. And that commitment is not just to do the work. There's also this thing that we talk about, personal development. You know, we've got to get better in terms of our skills, how to talk to people, what not to say, how to say the things we say, how to present the products, how to present the business, how to follow up. Those are skills. And fortunately, all of those can be learned. So don't think, oh, no, I could never do that. Yes, you can, provided you're willing to learn. And that you'll find in the training. And another important thing is you will learn as you do. And as you do, you will make mistakes. And that's not such a bad thing, because mistakes, if we look at them correctly, can teach us what not to do. So next time we can do it better. So the fact is, we've got to learn and grow in our skill set. But what is even more important, our character has got to become stronger. See, when we joined this business, it was all about me, about us. We needed to make money. We sponsored people for what they could do for us. I didn't understand at that stage that it's about the people and what I can do for them, because if I can help them, that helps me. You see, so our perspectives have got to change. We've got to learn to value people. We've got to learn to really care for people and go out of our way to help people. You see, and that's a different part of learning and developing. Our whole mental attitude, our perceptions, our thinking often needs to change. And that's all part of personal development. Now, why I mention this is something else that we've got to be intentional about. Personal development isn't just going to rub off on us and just happen automatically. We've got to attend, like you are tonight, the trainings, the events, because there we learn and we grow. But we also have to plan time for what am I going to do when I'm on my own in terms of learning and personal development. Reading a book, listening to or watching videos, or whatever it is we do. Don't let the idea of personal planning just hang there in the air as a nice idea. It is something that we also have to plan and set goals. I'm going to watch 2 videos this week or whatever it is. And I'm going to read for 15 minutes a day, whatever it is. You've got to set goals as for the business, also for your personal development and personal growth. And then just in the business, I think something that we overlook is we need to develop our customer base, not just our downlines. Because the better we do at having a strong customer base, the more we can serve as an example and teach our downlines to do the same. You see, if everybody did just the minimum, which is 100 points, and let me just add that 100 points should never be seen as a goal. That's a minimum. It is a goal in a sense, but it should be a minimum. If you can increase your personal PV on an ongoing basis, remember that's where your biggest profit margin comes in, 45% if you're a qualified director. To have, say, 2 new customers every month. Work on that side of your business as well, because if you don't, your downlines won't. And you see, we move products not just through what we use personally, but also what we move to our customers. And remember, what we get paid on is selling products. If no products or few products were sold through yourself or in your organization, the money would be minimal. We don't get paid for anything else. So work on that side of your business as well. And then I'm just looking at my notes. Oh, one thing with oh, yes. I wanted to say this to you. We just had a Zoom PT meeting. The 3 and 30 is going to change from the way it was now, where you could sponsor 1 personally and say 2 downline, to just 3 that you sponsor personally. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have to work with the people downline, but that you'll probably hear that in the next few days, but that incentive is changing. So a goal that you could have, and I've set that for myself, is to do 3 and 30 every month. I still had the old 3 and 30 in mind. I'll have to readjust my thinking. But then the important thing is those people that you sponsor, help them do 3 and 30 as well. Because imagine if you sponsored 3, and they each sponsored 3. Now you have 9 people, if my math is correct. However, you only sponsored 3 yourself. So that downline duplication should never be forgotten, but have your personal sponsoring goal, your goal for customers. I may be wrong, but I'm not so much for a PV goal. Obviously, you want to reach 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 or 4,000, whatever the case may be. But sometimes people are so focused on that goal that they don't do what needs to be done to get there. And how do you get there? Through having enough other people. I've seen now at month end again, directors who fail to qualify because they haven't got enough people. They haven't got enough structure in their director team, in their nursery. So the focus is get people and help them get people and help them have customers and help their people have customers, because the more people we bring in, the more the PV will flow. So next step, doing 3 and 30 customers, and then you consider your PV goal. Now, this is all very much in the air. It's just thoughts that I throw around, but can I give you some closing thoughts? Firstly is, we each have to take full responsibility for our business and our lives. When we blame others for why not and what's wrong, we give away the responsibility to those people. I'm not going to dwell on that point. The point is, Justus and the team and the company and everybody else of us, we want to help you be successful, but we can't be successful for you. You've got to take responsibility for that. The second thought is, don't make excuses. Don't make excuses. The more excuses you make, the less progress you will have and the less money you make. I've already mentioned the third thing, and that is make sure you overcome fear. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is near. And then 4.4, accept setbacks. Life is going to happen. Difficulties will come. Those are not the things that determine our success or lack of success. What is important is how we respond to things happening. Do we respond negatively, or do we look for what good can come out of a situation and move on? And then what I've already said, I just want to repeat. Remember, what you can't do now, what you don't feel capable of, you can learn, provided you commit, provided you take the responsibility. Don't wait for your upline to always do everything for you. Learn to stand on your own feet so that you can again teach other people to do the same. Because what we need to do is we need to build up a vast group of people who are trainers, people who are equipped to equip other people. And then a last thought that I hadn't written down, but that comes to my mind as I speak. In South Africa, maybe it's much the same with you. We have this load shedding thing because the government has run down the power utility, amongst other things. And that costs the economy billions. There's inflation, interest rates are going up, fuel prices are going up. The economy is not in a good place at this stage, and it may be the same in East Africa. And you know, people would say, well, oh, the economy, that's why we can't build a business. That is one of the worst mistakes one can make. It is exactly when the economy is down when we will find more people who will be open to looking at ways to make more money, who will need to make more money. You see, when things go well, people say, oh, no, don't bother me with that. I'm happy. I don't need anything else. But now is such a good time to reach out to people with what we have. So don't use the economy as an excuse. I already said don't make excuses, especially not the economy. So in summary, what Justus started saying is that if we don't plan, we plan to fail. I want to encourage you to hold on to your dreams, even if it's frighteningly big, where you think you could never achieve that. It's amazing what can happen one small step at a time. Can I quickly tell you this story? Justus, I hope I'm not taking too much time. In 1977, my wife and myself toured through Europe with a camper. And when we came to the Vatican, of course, we wanted to go there. In St. Peter's, there's this huge statue of St. Peter. And it's big. His foot is like probably about this big in bronze. But the Catholics have the habit of kissing that toe. And that toe is big. I can't show you exactly. But when we saw it in 1977, that toe was about half kissed away already. Now, can you imagine a kiss, how gentle that is? It's not one kiss that did that. It's many, 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 many kisses, repeated. And that is, to me, such a good example of keeping on. One small step, another small step, another small step. But plan your steps and commit to your plans. Seek help if you need to. And I know that if you do that, starting from wherever you are, by the end of this year, you can be far ahead from where you are now, because our opportunity makes that possible for us. So, Justus, I could carry on talking, but I thought I'd just share these few thoughts with you and encourage you to be intentional, not just about the business and personal development, but by the way, also about our life outside of the business, because we've got our families. Some of you still have your work and other interests that we need to also plan for. So live a meaningful, planned life, and you will find far greater satisfaction than just drifting through life. Justus, let me shut up.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jaja Mike, for this wisdom. We really, really needed to listen to this as we plan to start off the year and we plan to have the best year ever. Thank you so much for all your time, for the commitment, and thank you for the love that you really, really show us. I don't remember any time we've called you to share and you said no. All the times you've been available. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate. And to those that have been listening, the recording will be available shortly. I want you to listen to this recording over and over and over again, because this is how we start off the year in style, and this is how we get prepared for the year, and this is how we get to actually achieve, because he has mentioned that if you don't have goals, then you're wasting your time. You know, just imagine two football clubs are actually going to have are going to play a match, and there are no goalposts. They will be just wasting time. So that is what happens if you start this year without any goals clearly written down, without writing down things that you want to do and want to achieve in 2023. And as we come to the first lady that is going to be closing our meeting in a few minutes, I just want to give you a few questions that you can actually be able to read that can be able to help you and guide you as you're reorganizing yourself for the year. Number one is, what 3 things do you want to achieve out of new life this year? What 3 things do you want to achieve? It could be maybe you want to get out of debt. It could be maybe you want to buy land. It could be maybe you want to buy a car. It could be maybe you want to pay school fees, for your children through new life. Please write them down. Like the Chinese saying says that a goal written down is halfway achieved. Please write the 3 things that you want to achieve out of new life this year. Write them down and put them somewhere where you can see them every day, where you can revisit them every single day. So that is the number 1 question. What 3 things do you want to achieve out of new life this year? And then the second question, how much money do you want new life to pay you every single month? All of us as we are here, we can actually achieve director status. We can become SAFA directors. We can become Ruby directors. How much money do you want new life to pay you? You know, I've attended a training where they say that every start of the month, New Life writes a plain check. Your responsibility is to come and write there the name and say, pay Justus Muhumuza 6 million, pay Justus Muhumuza 10 million shillings a month. So how much money do you want New Life to pay you every single month? All of us as we're here, we can become directors and earn over 2.5 million shillings every single month out of New Life. We can become wealthy members to be paid between 3.5 million shillings or that was 12.5 million shillings a month. So how much money do you want New Life to pay you? And then the third question is, what step do you want to take in 2023? Do you want to be a director? Do you want to be an Emerald director? Do you want to be a SAFA director? Do you want to be a Ruby director? Write it down. Write it down, pray about it. Share with us. Let's come up with the plans. Let's come up with strategies. Let's come up with an action plan on how you are going to achieve that level in the business. When do you want to become director? That is the next question. Is it in May? Is it in March? Is it in June? When do you want to become director? Write it down. Write it down. And then, how many directors do you want to develop on your team? How many directors do you want to develop on your team? Write down all these questions, answer them. Let's come up with a plan. Let's come up with a strategy on how we are going to achieve those goals. And then let's come up with an action plan. And the lady that is going to be closing our meeting, a very, very special friend of ours, the leader of Unstoppable Diamonds. This is a special woman that we've been friends for a very, very long time. Every single time she shares, I really, really feel that I want to start this business again. So she's going to be closing our meeting and guiding us on how to have a clear action plan on achieving our goals and dreams. Grace Ngatia, if you can hear me, please unmute yourself and you can take it on.
Thank you very much, Justus. Can you hear me, Justus?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Thank you very much, Justus, and Happy New Year to everyone on the call. Those from Uganda and our PT, Mike, we have really learned a lot from you. Thank you very much, Mike. You are a resource to us. Your 40 years of experience really, really benefits us. My name's Grace Ngatia, and I'm very, very excited this evening. And I'm so excited about the new year, just like Mike, our president team member, has told us, that new year always brings new energy. And as just as began the meeting, he said that the leadership, we are excited about the year. We are very serious on helping and supporting our team members to really achieve our goals. And that is why we are committing and we are so committed in all the things that we are doing. And we are trusting God that is going to help us this year to really, really achieve the desires of our hearts. I am excited this evening, and I just want to encourage us that whatever Mike has shared with us, even what probably I wanted to add, Mike has already shared, because they always say successful people talk one language. And I just want to finish by saying, Mike has told us about planning. Mike has told us about having goals, having targets. If you have not done that on this day, you need to make sure that you write them down. Like Justus has said, goals written down are have achieved. If you haven't, please do justice to yourself. And remember, Mike has told us that if you promise yourself that you're going to achieve and you don't do it, you are doing injustice to yourself. So one of the challenge and one of the encouragement I'll give ourselves, including myself, is to have what we call finishing power every single month. That even as we set the goal for 2023, we are starting from what Justus has told us. What do you want to achieve by the end of the year? Maybe you want to become a director, you want to become a Ruby, you want to become a software director. That is starting from the end. But remember, you have to have a monthly target, what you want to do every single month. And I want to encourage us that we need to have the believing that I am going to start the journey and come to the end. Because most of us, or most of the people, what they do, they start very well, but they don't finish. And many successful people say, it doesn't matter how well you started. What is important is how you finish. So are you going to have the habit of finishing well? Are you going to have the habit of achieving the target that you set yourself? Are you going to be committed every single month? Beside the challenges Mike has talked about, that you're going to be focused, that even no matter what comes on your way, you're still going to say, this is my business and my check is open. I am going to write it good. It all lies to you. Remember, we have been challenged to take personal responsibility of our business. So in terms of the targets that we are going to set for ourselves, I want to encourage us. Let's always have the spirit of the people who do marathon. You know, people who run. You know, and Justus has also talked about the footballers. I'm not very good. I'm not a fan of football, but I see the people in the house. They have teams, and everyone is saying, my team will win. Now, we need to have the attitude of saying, this January month, I will win. It doesn't matter what is going to come on my way. It doesn't matter if I'm going to talk to people and they say no. I will still talk to more people until I win. You are going to have and to embrace a spirit of success. You will see success before you even get it. You will talk success every time you come up to your prospects, to your team, to your upline, to even the negative people that you talk to, because there is power in what you confess. If every single month you say, I can do it, I can be able to get my 3 in 30 every month, I can be able to become a director in the next 6 months, guess what? You have already confessed it and it can really happen. So are we going to have a self-doubting image or a self-limiting image? You know, every time you say, it's not easy, it is hard, I'm not going to be sure if I'm going to make it. We want to encourage ourselves. This year, we are going to have more belief than probably we had in the year 2023. In addition to that, because you've written down your goals, because you've already decided that you're going to achieve them every single month, then something else is next. Are you ready to take the action plan? My mentor, Rico Brown, also says, it is not just enough to attend Zoom meeting. It is not enough to just take the notes and write them on the books and get excited. You have now to go out to the field. We all need to go out and put our sleeves up and go out and do the 4 basics. We need to go out and talk to people. We need to use the products. We need to go out and get some customers, like Mike has told us. Mike has just told us that there's a story he will yet tell us, that he moved a new environment. He didn't know people, but he started talking to people anyway. And that is how he has a big team in Uganda. So we are here. We have been challenged by Mike. Let's get out of our comfort zones. Let's go out in the field. Do we have action plan? Do you have plan of meetings? Have you started planning for one-on-ones? Have you started planning for big meetings, presentations? Are you having weekly meetings with your people? Do you have people you are supporting? Micah said it's not about grace. It's about the people. I will go help them make money. Then grace will make the money thereafter. Do we have these people? Now I'm talking to you. You want to become a director. Who are these 4 people that you already have chosen or identified that you're going to work with them and help them become senior managers and executive managers for you to become a director? You need to have a good action plan. Listening is not enough. Writing the notes is not enough. Getting excited is not enough. Having a positive attitude is good, but it's not enough. We need to go out there and conquer the fear. Mike has told us, remove the fear. Yes, but how do you conquer the fear? Is by doing what you fear. That's what my sponsor told me. I feared talking to people. And she told me, Grace, every day you must make 2 new friends. You must go to Boda Boda, Matatu, go to the lift, go to the supermarket and make a friend. And today, that is history. I don't fear talking to people. I don't fear making friends because I practiced and I had the habit of what I feared. So as I close, I'm saying, do you have a good action plan? Do you have the plan to achieve the director? It all involves on the activities of the basics, using the products, what Micah said, selling products, move the products. Do you have a plan? Are you going to do demonstrations? Are you going to go and talk about our healthcare? Are you going to do presentations about health? When are you going to do it? Mike has reminded us, some people are doing the business full-time, some people are doing the business part-time. Do you have a plan if you're doing part-time or if you're doing full-time? Because if we don't do that, we are going to do the same thing that we did probably in 2022, and we never got the results that we desired. And we do not want to carry mediocrity in 2023. And somebody said, or I learned that in New York, that mediocrity is, or madness, is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So if I keep attending Zoom and I get so excited, I listen to Mike. Tomorrow you listen to Rico. The other day you listen to another person and you get excited and I'm there, but I do not go out to talk to people. I do not teach my team to move the products. Guess what? I'll keep saying I'm excited, but I'm not making progress. And what is going to happen? I will be mediocre in this business. This team, the team Lion Kings and Unstoppable Diamonds, we do not want to be mediocre in network marketing. We want to move because in us, God has put greatness. In you, God has put greatness in you. He has put something of value. He knows you can make it in 2023. And if you believe in him, you just need to have that higher belief and go out and so talk to people. Leave the rest to God. You see, if you talk to people, if you go out and do meetings, you will not push people to join. Do your presentation, give them value, show them what opportunity we have to present. Guess who blesses the works of our hands? Is the higher God that you believe in. And he is going to open doors for you. He's going to give you a 3 in 30. He's going to give you a director. He's going to give you somebody who is ready to do the business, doesn't need to be pushed. And before you realize, we have already started attaining the big step. So it's all about you. Believe in yourself, be more committed. What is commitment? Doing what you said you would do when you are so excited, long after the mood in which you said it has left you. Many of us this year, we are going to say, I'm excited, it's 2023. I am going to be a director. I am going to be a world team member. I will sponsor every single month. Of course, we're excited because it's New Year. People are making resolution. But let me ask you, in February, in March, are you still going to be committed to those promises that you put to yourself. And that's what Mike told us. And always remember, that's the meaning of commitment. Doing what you said you do in January, in that spirit mood that you had a big one, a good one, the excitement, the new energy we are talking about. Long after the spirit has gone, long after January has gone of making resolution, and now it's February, it's March, taxes have been increased, petrol has increased, and you're still committed to that goal. That is what is commitment. And if we remain committed, true to our goals, nothing is going to stop us. We are going to be the lions, and we are going to be unstoppables. And we are going to celebrate each other at the end of this year, because we will all have achieved the goals that we have written down, and we will be celebrating each other. I wish you the very best, and I wish you what you wish yourself, and the Lord's favor be upon you. Thank you very much. Over to you, Justus.
Wow. I just feel I want to start again. This is so exciting. And I really do believe the people who have been able to listen and attend this meeting, I hope and believe that we've been able to take this personal. I want to take this personal. I don't want to play around with this kind of meeting that we've had. I want to follow every single step, every single thing that has been talked about, because I know that by following everything that has been shared in this meeting, end of this year, we are going to celebrate Ruby directors, SAFA directors, and we could even have presence team members. Ladies and gentlemen, let us go and act. Let's go and act, because action alone is what is going to help to achieve all our goals and dreams and all our heartly desires. Congratulations for all those that have attended, the team Unstoppables, Unstoppable Diamonds. Congratulations for having attended the Big Dreamers, the team online. Congratulations for having attended this meeting. Let's go ahead and act and make sure that we get this thing done. 2023 is the best year ever. It's going to be the year for these teams to be able to achieve all our goals and dreams. Thank you so much, and